Hello, welcome to the last Sunday morning coffee of 2022. Been missing a bit active in the comments there this morning. Hello. I'm trying to get the tree in, but not squish up against it. We can do this. Oh no, we can't. That's as far as it'll go. Actually, wait there. This is where I disconnect. Oh, there we are. There we are. Right. Hello. Thank you, my little antlers. I've got today. I decided to do the review of the year, which I used to traditionally always do in typed form, and then as I got busier and busier, the typed form stopped, and I just kind of never got to it. So I thought I'd do a bit of a review of the year today, and you can help me as well because I can't remember. I've also got I haven't got any notes, of course. Don't be silly. But I do have my phone, which has the Facebook page up. So I figured if I scroll through the pictures, that's a timeline of what's been going on. Guinea pigs are distracting, as always, but very much appreciated. Hello everyone who's here. This is Ace. Apologies for Dave's typing, as always, typing away. Oh, it's actually not Dave, it's Carol at the moment. Mug watch. Ooh. Past all the ornaments. We've got the cooling tower today. That's what day it is. Gotta have the cooling tower loaded with coffee. Excellent days. It's a beast. Oh, I still have no fridge freezer either. So that's more of the long life soya. In fact, I'm going to keep this on my lap. No, it's too beastly. It's too big. What does the t-shirt say? Can't bother moving, but it says, "You never will surrender to a narrow view of gender," from Grace Petrie. That was my mood this morning. Oh, we got cooling industrial chic. That's it. I do love this mug. I got it from one of the shops in Sherwood Forest. Last time I was there, the same shop was there, so I just went up to the guy who ran the shop and said, "I'm not buying anything. I just wanted to let you know that this mug is amazing." And I use it all the time. He's like, "Yes." I have seen Grace's new Christmas song. It's very good and very catchy. It is a seriously tall mug. It is a beast. I've got a few bits before we enter the review of the year. I actually put a load of new releases out last night. I've only properly advertised The Queen, but there's quite a lot. There's quite a lot out there. I was in the office yesterday, and I wanted to get those things out before Christmas because I intend to bugger off and abandon you all for a bit. I won't really, but kind of. I'm going to abandon the office maybe. So I wanted to just get as much done as I could before the end. It's also that self-employed guilt. So the more I get done now, then I'll be able to chill a bit more. So there's quite a few new releases. There's the masks I've teased for a while. I realised I'd forgotten to release the Butcher. Who's the big sort of plaguey zombie guy with a big cleave attached to his hand. Also, Squeaky, the cherished pet, which is the two-legged beast. And I found that I was trying to look for something to use as an example of using the howler on top of it, and the Baggy and Squiddo with the Dave, not with Dave, with the milkshakes sits perfectly on there. So on that page there's that, and there's a picture with a Soviet on top as well for some weird war. Who else did we release? The capybaras are out. There's some scale pictures as well, because I don't want anyone to go, "Wow, they're cheap," thinking they're going to be as big as Charles the Mega Cappy. These are real size cappies. They're kind of like big dogs, and there's baby cappies as well. So I've put scale pictures on there as well. What else have we got? I think that's it. I'm sure there was something else. I think I was updating some coloured pictures as well. More things that have been painted. So that's been ace. I released the Queen set last night, which I've been very excited about because I'm really happy with them and the way they turned out. And I know by now I know what people are like. So I know from also when I showed off some of the sculpts that weirdly it was going to be the most controversial release so far. Who knew? Um, so the previous one with the ghouls, because they were a bit gory, they're probably a bit too gory for Bad Squiddo, but I will still support them. I just don't tend to advertise them very much now. If you don't know, maybe have a look. But also, if you're of a not weak nature, that's a bad way. If you don't want to see babies being eaten by ghouls, which is fair enough, I wouldn't recommend. But that's what ghouls do. But yeah, I thought they were my most controversial, which kind of makes sense. But it's now the previous Queen of England is a controversial mini to release, despite there being like I don't know, like 20 Hitlers or something. Oh no, I've said that. That's going to boost me down in the algorithm. So yeah, it's weird. So if I make a mini, it's almost like massive endorsement, whereas anyone else goes, "This is a character from history." So yeah, everyone's sorry, my brain's zooming around this morning. So yeah, the Queen has been a. I woke up this morning and went, I wonder what people have said about this brand new release that I've invested loads of money and time into. Oh yeah. Also, she has been the best of late overnight seller, so that's good. So people are buying her, so that's good. It isn't unusual to release something new and then check in the morning and nobody's bought one, even if it's gone wild on social media. So I was pleasantly surprised. So that was very nice. And yeah, people are like, can I use it for different things? Can I? And they're your minis. Do what you like. Give me money. You can. I've made them so that they're quite agnostic, although accurate, which is kind of my thing. So you can use them for different things. And the coronation version of the Queen, I've done so that you could use her as like a fantasy miniature if you wanted, because it had the whole crown, the cloak, all that sort of thing. And obviously ATS, you can use her for an ATS lady. And the modern one can be any old lady. Give any money, do what you want with the minis. But yeah, it's bizarre. So I've got, it's because obviously you can't get past that it's a political figure. But then I've got the people on the left saying, oh, you're kissing ass of the monarchy. And then the people on the right going, she's not as sexy as I remember. It is the Queen. A very notable figure of the last however many years in the world, and what we do is make figures of notable women from history. So it's kind of like this is what we do. It'd be weird if we didn't and we did something else, and then suddenly we did a load of miniatures of the Queen. That would be strange. But that's what we do. So regardless of your thoughts on the monarchy or the Queen or anything, it is a miniature of the Queen. But yeah, it's very, very odd. And I was having my shower thoughts just before the show, where I was kind of, and you kind of talking to yourself. And I was thinking, shall I go into that on the show? And I was like, I'll do it a little bit. So it's not helping that my brain is everywhere this morning. But yeah, it's literally just like, here is the Queen. How dare you from all sides? Like, but it's just like factually that was the person. But you'll never please everyone, and I'm used to that. That's what got my brain onto this other tangent. So before, I think some people know this, but not tons, especially if you're newer. Before Bad Squiddo Games, I worked for 4 years. So my main, because I haven't had many real people jobs, I've had the odd bit here and there. But the main one I had for 4 years was working with frontline homelessness. And when I started that, I don't like laughing at that and laughing at the bit I'm about to say. It was when I started, I was what I think a lot of people think I am now. I was 18 and I was very much like, oh, this will be wonderful. I get to help the world. Yay. And quite quickly got toughened toughened up significantly. So 4 years working with obviously all the things that go with homelessness as well. There's people threatening to kill you, people threatening to kill the other people themselves. There's all sorts of mayhem. Lots of men in their 40s and 50s shouting in my face in a confined space underground, and I actually really loved that job. Despite despite all that, yeah, working in the underworld as it was, because it's not just your homeless people, it's all the things that are then peripherally involved. Um, and yeah, there was a lot. It was a lot. But that I thought, because that changed me very much from this, yeah, sort of like, oh, everyone's lovely, to this kind of like, yeah, fair play that you beat that guy up, because he did beat up that, and he kind of definitely got tougher from that. Yeah, the Ratty says paperwork bureaucracy. That was why I left, unfortunately. Although fortunately for you, because I wouldn't have set up Bad Squiddo. But I was running the Dice Bag Lady whilst I was working there. That was when I set it up. So I do Dice Bag Lady in the evening. And when we had quiet spots, I would occasionally do a bit of cheeky crochet there. Um, so, so I think, yeah, it's kind of a testament of like, what's it? And I get people saying, "We'll protect you from the angry men online." Like, I really don't. I don't need it. I am quite capable. I have witnessed and experienced many things of horror and terror. Um, but I thought that was kind of it. Once I'd worked there, I thought that was me prepared for the world. But turns out that war game comments online are even worse. I was like, I'd rather go back to the like, people trying to kill me in an alley than some of the comments are harsh, man. Um, but yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but um, yeah, I think it's that whole like, oh, look at Annie, she doesn't know the world. She's just like, wee, like, no, no, I have definitely been around there. And I think I developed that thick skin working in that sector, and then from war games, I've had to develop an even thicker skin, which I didn't think was possible at that point. Um, gone from like, that's all right, I can handle people, and they went, oh, this is a different angle of horror. So yeah, it was quite interesting. Oops, wobbling that around. Um, going yeah, going into this world of war games where, yeah, you're putting yourself online, and people have all sorts. You're like, whoa, that what angle are you even going from? It's so weird. Um, so yeah, I got this morning. It was sort of like, oh, you flag shagger. I'm like, no, what do you follow the rest of the things that we do? So yeah, very odd. Um, and yeah, she's not as sexy, but that brings me on to something, because I was trying to figure out when I get critique, obviously my first reaction is how dare you, but I do actually think about it, because as much as it is frustrating when, yeah, you, especially social media, you post something and you're like, oh, I love this, and then straight away someone will go, nope. If they say why, I do actually think on it, and sometimes I'll think on it and go, nah. And other times I will go, they've got a point, and I will actually do something with that. So I was thinking today, one of the things I got was a few comments that the Queen, the coronation version, was too fat, and I thought, but strangely enough, someone on Twitter was saying that our minis are too thin. So you know what it's like. It's just like people aren't gonna like everything. It's fine. But I kind of look into why, and it's now an ongoing joke with some of my friends. When I release a woman from the last 100 years, how long before someone calls her fat? So Vera Lynn and Marilyn Monroe, rest in peace. They've also been called fat and unattractive miniatures. And I think they're brilliant. And I look to them and go, oh, can I just not see it because they're my minis? But no, they're lovely. And I realised what it was, especially with the Coronation Queen as well. You don't get smiling miniatures very often. Think about it. And all those miniatures are smiling, all the ones that have been called fat. And obviously, again, just to clarify, fat is not bad, but they're saying it as, fatter than the person was, sort of thing. But when you smile, look, when you smile, your cheeks go up, especially me. I do have very cheeky cheeks. But yeah, your cheeks go up and your eyes close a little bit as well. And I like the miniatures to be characterful, and that's something I'm really, really happy with. So obviously, when they are that small, you have to sort of exaggerate things a little bit as well, and not to caricature levels. I'm not into pop figures, but it's going to be a little more pronounced. So some of these minis, especially those sort of 1940 ones, I like to do them smiling. So yeah, their cheeks are going to be a bit, and then it makes your face a bit rounder as well. But there's definitely an acceptable face for 28mm figures, especially when they're digital sculpted as well. And I've spoke about this quite a bit because when I look around other people's ranges, there might be some really cool figures, but very often, if it's a female figure, she's got that sort of, like, what's it called? Not contour, that sort of cheekbone type thing. And the expression is always, hang on to show you, I'm going to be a miniature. That's the acceptable expression. So as soon as you add expression and character to them, yeah, the faces are going to look a bit different. But it's subconscious, and it was subconscious of me as well. Yeah, blue steel, blue steel. That everything's got to be conventionally attractive to it, and it's really weird. And you do it without realizing it, and I do it as well because it's just, yeah, it's something that because you're so exposed to it. And I look at some of the men figures, from like World War II, and they're shouting and they've got so much different character on their face, and nobody goes, "Oh, he's ugly," or so it's really weird. So I have to fight it a bit because then I think, "Oh, maybe I should make them thinner." I'm like, no, Annie, don't let that happen. So yeah, that's it. And I originally wasn't gonna mention it because it's that thing where you point something out and people notice it. So you might go, "Oh, I was gonna buy it, and now I've noticed that she's fat." She's really not. So yeah, when you look at the World War II, that sort of range, and it's not a World War II, but it is that, where there's a lot of them smiling. Yeah, look at the because they'll look at one photo and go, "Well, she doesn't look like this photo," and it's like, yeah, but there's pictures of me where I look very slender, especially posing for the camera. So yeah, you'd have a picture of me, top down like that, trying to blue steel. But yeah, then look at the face, it changes. And we're just so not used to seeing women's faces in different expressions. So it's a very interesting thinking point. That's all. If she doesn't look like the stamp, it's not the side on. So yeah, that was just, there's a little ramble for you. It's not an angry ramble. It was just me trying to understand and then coming up with quite an interesting explanation. My response to most people saying she doesn't look like that is that she wasn't 3 centimeters tall either. But I do take it into account. Women are only allowed to smile if they're doing complex gymnastic routines, apparently. This is true. Or eating salad. Yeah. That was not an eating salad face. Right, we'll go. It's probably going to end up being a longie today because I'm going to do my little review of the year. But I'm thinking of doing a separate video of review of the year, going into more details with plans and cuts and everything. But we'll go through. I just want to have a bit of a skim through, really. And if you've got any poignant as I'm going along, you go, "Oh yeah, remember thing," and I'll drink it because it's so huge, and I have loads of milk. Oh yeah, my fridge freezer. They said it's £400 plus for parts, and then more stuff, and it's probably not going to be fixed. So currently have no fridge freezer, but we've got that emergency long life soya. Everyone wants. Mm-mm-mm. What we got? We got Jill here. Hello. Oh, I was going to put that down again. There's no space. Right. You're going to have an exciting show of me scrolling through my phone. Just for prompts. Just for prompts. Before I get into that, actually, when are we open? Yeah, so they said it's not worth fixing, and obviously I do not have that money. So, but that makes me sad about what's the word? Planned obsolescence. Yeah, before I get into rambles, even more ramble mode. So the strikes all over the place, all the strikes. I'll be closing on Wednesday, I think, because the strikes anyway. Might do some in at home, but probably won't because I can't ship things. Because I normally work right up to the last minute, so I can get things shipped out so that if you are mega late, they can come, on like that gap between Christmas. But it's absolute mayhem out there, so I'm not going to. DPD aren't even collecting anymore, so it's. I spotted a fridge, a quite a nice fridge in one of Fenris lockups. So I messaged him, going, "You still got that fridge?" So that's getting dropped off Tuesday, I think. And we've got a garage freezer, so hopefully it will work. I think it's been in a lockup a while. So yeah, I was just going to have a bit of a skim through, and I thought if I skim through the Facebook feed, just looking at the pictures, it'll be a good what's going on. I like that I started the year with that. Again, it's not picking up my thing anymore, but it's not at all, is it? What if I get really close? No. I was quite chuffed with that image as well, about how great 2022 was going to be. I do them ironically, of course. So the start, what happened? Start of the year. Who knows? Do you know? I put up all the pictures of the Soviets. I think I got lots painted over there. We had. I did. I was on a painting spree. The year began with those dragons, didn't it? Yay! Jill started going above and beyond for getting it to packages were the only ones that arrived. Royal Mail knew I needed Lady Vikings. I did. I put a little word in with Royal Mail. I'm like, I gave a little present and card to my DPD guy, and he was so happy. But it's nice, the little tokens that make people happy. So the year started with Dragon Mania, didn't it? And Tuft Mania. So I had all those plants from Gamers Grass arrived. They were brand new at the start of the year, and they were the laser cut papery ones, which have become one of the best sellers. So they're super enjoyment. Ratty says, yeah, just put it outside. Yeah, if I was organised, I would have. I haven't even been to a shop. I fear the shops, so it's just like I'll just use the old soya. I have soya milk in case vegans or non-dairy people come, and then they always sadly say, "Oh, have it with no milk then." And then I say, "I have soya milk," and they go, "No way!" So it's there as a little surprise for vegans, but in dire times of emergencies, I will consume it. So yes, discovered Archon Studios. So dragons, I got those dragons in over Christmas, and for a while was the only people with the dragons. Morning, Sean. And yeah, that was absolutely wild start to the year, wasn't it? Because everyone wanted a dragon, and then I kept getting more, and the amount we were getting through was absolutely wild. It's calmed down now, but they're quite a steady seller. And then throughout the year, I've kind of stocked more and more of the Archon, but it's getting a bit too big, the line now. I'm pondering not stocking the Scenics and just stocking the figures, just to keep it down a bit. So there's all that sort of modular dungeon, but I'm not sure yet. Because also what I keep meaning to put is that I can get in anything that from North Star as well, so I can always put things on like back order, if you want it, but not have to keep it in because it's a lot for the restock and it's taking up more space. But they've got those dragons, the dragons, the giants, the ghosts, the NPCs. I want to keep all that, but I might stop stocking the Scenics. But we'll see. But yeah, they're absolutely pumping it out, and it's really good, and it's decent price. Yeah, I think you can get that coffee mate. And then then we had all those gamers grass plants come in. They also went wild. But they're not bad, Squiddo. What bad Squiddo things happened? This is just me looking at the pictures. So there are a lot of City Guard in that townsfolk box, but it is still awesome value for money. So we had Vat Attack, and that was Ace. Oh yeah, got those new bands. Oh yeah, this happened. Oh no, I discovered TikTok. That must have been February. Discovered TikTok. I wonder how many hours of my life that's happened. That has taken. I got really into doing TikTok videos. I was thinking about it because I did enjoy it because I can then use them across different places. So it's not just TikTok where I get four likes. I rubbish on TikTok. No one likes my things. They just don't know I'm there. But I get to use it around. It's got a good little thing for uploading. But I want to do some more TikToks now I've got time because it's fun. And I've recently, because I've got all the minis and terrain out in the same place and a purpose-built area for it, I can do more of those little scenes, which I really like. And that's what it is. So rather than just showing you them here as the thing on a white background, showing you it on all of with each other. So the minis with the terrain and all that sort of bits. Oh, we got there. Comments. Oh, I haven't seen that, Daniel. It made scenery in a big panorama with bad squiddy minis, and most who saw it liked it, so that's nice. Post it in the ting. Although, apologies if you did post it in the ting and I haven't seen it, or I liked it because I was just scrolling, which I'm a bit guilty of. What we got? Gary, did you get to wargame roleplay any games in 2022? Your pig vehicles were awesome. Hey. What? TikTok going landscape? No, it can't. It can't. All that time. I did. I only got a tiny amount done. But I did go to that Too Fat Lardies day in July or August. And I met quite a few nice people that I've now become friends with, including Sean, if he's still here and hasn't got distracted. And that was Ace. So I got to play Chain of Command and Flashing Blades. And I really liked Chain of Command, but for my attention span and time, then it's I don't know if I'll get into it, but purely because of my own brain. But I really enjoyed playing it, and it all made sense. I was like, this is good. But my brain, I don't know if I've got time to learn it, but I definitely play it again with people who knew what they were doing, just so I can move some bits around. And I really liked Flashing Blades, and I want that to be properly released because I thought that was really good. That was a Annie-sized game because we had like 6 people aside or something. I'm sure I played some other bits. Maybe that was it. I played some board games, but I can't remember the name of them. I played some where you have to move a dragon around a board. That's what I played. Oh, little Nini grooming herself. Dear Lord, was that it? That's still more than the year before. I played Age of Sigmar. Yes, I played 3 games or 2 games of Age of Sigmar, whilst also not knowing what I was doing. But that's what I do now. I just turn up to events of things that I haven't played and just wing it. So that was good. So yeah, I did. I got to an event, didn't I? Played in an Age of Sigmar event. What else do we get? Brought out Annie, the pack handler, and a few more fantasy things. I absolutely love the Walking Dead game, but we've played 0 this year, and it's just there. It's in my line of sight so that we can get it. But I have told Andy that I'm getting closer to being able to have the brain capacity to play a game again in the evening. Partly because I normally come home at the time that I'm absolutely dead, and I'll kind of eat and then go to my room. But I've been coming home a bit earlier, and when I come home early, I'm like, oh, there's an evening. This is a time of day that exists. So yeah, I'm hoping we'll get some more of that in. And I have picked up a few bits that we can use as well. So that's definitely a good prod to play some of that. Maybe even over Christmas. Pack Mule Annie, one of my all-time favourites, naturally. And we've got a few more fantasies coming out. We've got Badger went to GaryCon. They went to GaryCon and Adepticon in the same weekend, taking our stuff to both, which was absolutely wild. I need to get some things sorted, but there's a good chance I'll be at Gen Con this year, which I need to actually organise if it is happening. So that would be very cool. So the plan is to go and schmooze, but do a bit of helping on the Badger stand. But I need to actually start getting some plans in place for that. So I get to see people and not just there working. I get to schmooze and get to see Badger, who are ace. I know you're not supposed to have favourites, but one of my favourite shops. They stock everything of ours in America and are very much on the same wavelength, I think, of silliness. So that would be cool to hang out with them, meet some of the Americans, get to be all English all over the place. So hopefully that would be super cool. My leg. What else we got? Skim through, had our first French World War II miniature, Josephine Baker, who is fast. She's not fast. But yeah, she's very, very smiley. And it was really fun learning about her. She's a wicked character. I like it when I research them. I go, I would have liked to hang out with these. These people seem cool. That's good. There's me going, oh, look, I've had some time off work. And then I posted a picture of a zombie. So that was me getting COVID. That was the start. I think it was all going well up to that point, maybe. Oh no, I did have a big period of depression, and then I was getting better, and I went, yeah, that was it. Yes, I announced Tree Pen. I was like, we're gonna do all this stuff, and then I got COVID, which seemed to last forever and was awful. I had the bad version rather than the bit ill. It was very unpleasant. And then it was Tree Pen. So we had all the Tree Pens, Tree Pen Madness. That was the Kickstarter. So they've all been shipped out now. I love those dang Tree Pens. It was a nice distraction to do something a bit different, and for the mold makers to learn how to cast such an abomination. Oxford English Dictionary to add miniature that is smiling to fat in the next version. It's true. But it's when I get protective of minis, and I've had this for a long time. Because when you see people say things about minis, you know that reflects their views of actual humans. So when people go, "Oh, you're getting offended over a miniature," I'm like, "No, but it's just not a good reflection of you know." So if people go, "Ew, that's fat," I'm like, "Well, what do you think about people that are fat?" you know. And when you see them over sexualizing miniatures and they're there posting on Facebook going, oh, what I'd do to that. And I'm like, oh, you're just not very nice. So Tree Pen was wicked. I'm a bit sad that there's not going to be any Tree Pens after this. But that's it. That's the way of things, I guess. Mum took my last couple of Tree Pens the weekend the other day. Mum's been here this week helping out for the first time in ages, trying to get blister packs. Oh Lord, I thought it was going to happen. I thought I was going to get blister packs. It's been months. We're skipping back to that now before we go back into the past. There's just been like months long wait on them, and I've been having to find them from all over the place. Look under the sofa, see if there's any blister packs, and they were finally getting delivered, and then they weren't. And now they have been delivered, apparently, Mum. So if you have got a day free next week, come do some blister packing. And another company found me a box as well of the P-Vert. It's weird. So the blisters I use, and most people use, they're called P-Vert, and they have all these different, like L-Vert or whatever. But it's P-Vert. Bring in the P-Verts. No, don't. We don't want any P-Verts around here. Did Lil acquire the pens? She did. Like, she stole my mug. She was glad. Surprised I've got these little chains, you know, like you get the bank on pens now. She did. She stole them. Stole them. So what we got? A little skim through. Oh, see, it's nice. You're like, ah, I met those guys. I met the Vince Ventura and Ninjon. I met them at my house. Oh, don't know if again it's not going to show you, but there we go. That was when they had the Horus Heresy, the Horus Heresy weekender thing. Um, so lots of people came from all over the world. So I met them, and they were lovely. And I spent a whole evening hanging out with Ash. What's his thing called? Ash Barker, Gorilla Gaming, and he was absolutely awesome and into plants. So we were mostly just going around my house talking about all the different plants. And he's like, "Oh, I got one of those." Oh, that was really nice. It was lovely to meet people. That's one of the reasons I want to go to Gen Con, to see people that I otherwise would never see. Released a colouring book. There's still a lot of people don't know about the colouring book, so that's awesome. Well, not that they don't know. We do a colouring book. Yes. I'm going to give that a bit more traction next year as well. Oh god. Those lads are legends. Lucky them getting to meet you. Exactly. And the pigs. They got to meet the pigs too. That was ace. More releases. UK Games Expo. Sending perverts in the post. Yeah. Good job I don't go to the post office and they go, "What's in your parcel?" Some perverts. Because it's hanging on for dear life. You can do it. Not long left now, little tree. UK Game Expo, one of the absolute best times we've had ever. One of the most stressful times of my life. There may have been a few tears and a few rages, but it was amazing. I've booked to go again this year. It is the most expensive thing to go to. The cost of the stand is that's that's how it is. It is absolutely woo. And getting the hotel as well, because it's several nights and then paying the hotel for people that are helping out as well. It adds up pretty quickly. But Game Expo was absolutely amazing. Just to meet, we met loads of people that were existing fans, and just seeing what these pigs are up to. And we totally reached a whole new audience. So seeing people discover the stand for the first time and just losing their minds is amazing. And I met the Forgotten Imp, who do tardigrade and capybara stuff. So that was an instant like, yes, that Spider-Man meme where it's like, that was cool. Then I was ill again because that absolutely wiped me out, and then I got super ill. Then I went to the. I'll try and make it more interesting than just me going, no, then that happened. Then we had the AOS thing. Then there was the mega heat wave. I met online Blackjack Legacy for the first time, and I had a really nice time on his show. He's someone we've been chatting about doing something a bit later on as well, because we got on really well. I've started being in his chat now and again as well on a Monday evening because it's quite a nice busy chat, and I like his show. It's nice and chilled. So that's Blackjack Legacy, and that's me that doesn't really consume much war games content, but I do really like his show, so I recommend that. We got some more adverts. Yep, then it was, we're in August, don't worry, we're not going to be here for hours, I'm already at August. Yeah, the Two Fat Lardies Day was amazing for playing games and meeting new people and just and being smug that I wasn't working at that show. People are like, "Where'd you stand?" Like, there is none. I am just drinking beer and rolling dice, and it's the best. Then we had our fat Marilyn Monroe. Not even fat. We got more releases. Working with Joe again. It's been a while since we worked with Joe Brumby. So we got all those animals, the pigs, the big bunnies, the alpacas. Having having the world's most expensive curry, because some people maybe were adding too many shots and things to the bill, thus increasing the price. Sean. It was Sean. What we got then? What we got then? Great Escape have been taking our stuff around the shows, and they're getting more well known for having the bad Squiddo goods. So that's really good now that people are knowing where to go, because they do quite a lot of shows. And even though now I've cut back significantly, which I don't regret, I miss people. But when they've been doing Partisans and Hammerhead, which are in Newark, which isn't far, I've been going and working with them. So I don't have to do any of the loading and, well, actually I do. What am I saying? Why don't I just work? Helping them out, even though obviously I'm there, I don't get any money when I'm helping them. The idea is that they'll sell more bad Squiddo things, and then they'll buy more bad Squiddo things off me. But it's mostly a favour, but it will help me out in the long run. But seeing how much money they're making at shows and thinking, if I had my own stand, I'd make so much money. But then I'd have to do all of the extra bits. So I get to just turn up, swan around for a bit, and not be ill. And a lot of this year I've been ill, and I've various different illnesses. And having to tell myself that I don't have to explain everything to people all the time. I am allowed a bit of privacy, which is like, because I normally feel like I need to say exactly what all of the things are. I'm like, you don't actually, Annie. If you want to, it's fine, but you don't have to. So a lot of that sort of figuring out how to use my energy the best, basically. What on earth is that? Then it was the Fenris Kickstarter, which I took over and then felt a bit bad. Hang on, let me finish this. Let me just finish this. So I saw that Fenris was struggling with getting his Kickstarter out, which was very important because it always is, for cash flow, money, small business sort of thing. And where he was struggling with, the graphics and getting that side and the text, because he's very much the maker of the things, I was kind of helping from afar. And then I thought, you know what, sod it, I'm just going to go over there. So I camped out at Fenris for a few days and just absolutely smashed photos and art and getting things, going, right, what are we doing? And kind of just taking over. I did let him run it in the end. But yeah, you're doing a Kickstarter, hold my tower stack mug. Yeah, and I'm pleased that I made it look super nice, because it was frustrating when you see something that's so good, and the person just can't get it to the people, so like, this is good and there's no reason why this shouldn't be absolutely really successful, but it is down to marketing, and if that's not your strong skill, it's kind of frustrating, I guess. Whereas it's something that I am good at, so it was that, like, help back and forth. And then a few people were like, oh, who do you think you are? Helping out, thinking you're all that. I'm like, no. Because and then I had to do this whole everyone helps each other out. So because I've been helping out Great Escape at shows, so I was saying, oh, I don't get paid, but I'll go on the stand and help them set up and stuff. It's reciprocated. So Great Escape Games Stu and Fenris Ian were full-time staff over Expo. So it's definitely a two-way thing. So those poor sods are convinced to help out at Expo. But yeah, then I help them back. But yeah, I think a few people would be like, oh, are you saying that his photos are crap? I'm like, well, yeah, but not in an insult way. Just in that's it. Not everyone can do all of the things unless they're me. Well, they're not, because I can't build models as good as that. No way. And it is extra important in this, but like, stuff's really crap for small businesses. It's getting crapper. And we can't do all of the things. So the more you can help each other out, it's so much better. We got here. We're getting to strike territory now. Finally sculpted and released the navy guys in the dresses. I've been wanting to do them for ages, and I hadn't, because I was thinking, is it just going to be fodder for people to make really crappy anti-trans comments? And I was like, but I thought they're such good models. But I was kind of worried about them getting in the wrong hands and people just using them to make sort of shitty comments language. But so far, from what I've seen, they haven't. So I'm glad they did, and they've brought a lot of joy to people as well. And yeah, I'm glad that they've been really liked, because I was just like, I just don't want to feel somewhat responsible if people are going to be crap about it. But then they can be crap about most figures anyway. So, and what have we got? What we're missing the old. Hey, Sim says hello. Hello, Sim. Yeah. What we got? Then we got Halloween. Then we've got me getting in trouble because the undead are women and the alives are men. Even though I just picked a few images. So that was Sexist Gate October. It's because I'm looking through the Facebook. There are so many little micro scandals I get in by accident just by existing. It's bizarre. And I do seem to get, sometimes I feel like I get more critique than other people when I try really hard and do loads and loads of extra bits. And then I'll be sleepy and post something like not consider the ratio of alive men and women. And that means I hate women despite running my entire business around helping women. But that's it. It's definitely a thing. If you do one bit to kind of help, then people do critique more because you kind of put in that limelight. So I'm kind of used to that. Like what I mean about, a few people getting really angry that I've made a mini of the Queen, but nobody goes on about all the Hitlers or anything. So bizarre. And then we're coming up onto my scroll. It was a very brief round of the year, but I didn't want just me to be going doop 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 on my phone for a few hours. But so I said earlier about the thick skin. It's just like, what have I done now? I've done this. Get back in your box, woman. I do. I've got a box that I could probably fit in over there. And yeah, then we pretty much go on to Christmas. Andy says Dave the pig is all about sharing skills. When another pig is eating something, he kindly offers to lend them his eating skills to get it devoured faster. He does. He's been quite quiet this morning. They're all a bit quiet, suspiciously quiet. Oh yeah, I won 2 awards. I forgot what they're called now because they're not on there. I won when you said I got in trouble. I assume you're up to the CEOcast morning session. Oh, I haven't even mentioned that. They're not worthy of. Oh my god, they are. What have you done? What have you done? I wasn't going to mention it. So obviously I mentioned my dislike for said company, but there's more out there. So anything I've said on this about them has been publicly available, basically. So I'm not, telling secrets or slandering. But I've seen a few more Kickstarters now. And people that have bought the machines or have been using the machines for somewhere else, saying they're now not using it because the support has been absolutely terrible. You give someone 70 grand and then they don't answer your calls when it doesn't work, and then you let all your customers down. So I've seen some of that around some Kickstarter updates. So the bubble is bursting. And it's sad because, what I said before, those companies have invested that money, and that could be enough to kill a small. Well, I wouldn't have 70 grand in the first place, but it's still, relative, and that could be enough to just wreck a company for something that they've kind of been pressured into. Is that the right word? But yeah, I'm hoping that more people see this sort of stuff around now and maybe think twice about it. So that's so that was in the roundup of the year, wasn't it? They haven't come for me yet, though. Yet. I won 2 awards. I won Best Customer Service and Most Progressive Tabletop Miniature Accessory. And I thought, oh, that's pretty cool. What's that about? And it was one of those like vanity awards. So it was awarded, I think they just find companies and then make awards for them. And then they go, hey, you won our thing, which will be published in our magazine that doesn't really exist, and only other people who won the thing will see it. Do you want to pay 500 quid for a trophy? That's not really an award, is it? Tim is currently keeping a tally of shipping from China versus COS support failures and Kickstarter updates. Yep. That's why we were all made in the UK and in resin and metal. It is beautiful. So yeah, I won some made up awards. So that was cool. Woo! We've had the what's it? The Wargames Illustrated Awards. I haven't heard anything, so I assume I've not won anything. But they came by last week to grab some minis for an article, so that'd be quite cool. So it's definitely a bonus of having the painted minis there now. So that's ace. Doing a little Karen there, chuntering. So yeah, I might make up some more awards. Definitely most ranted, ranter, biggest ranter of the industry. Someone has to. Oh, Sean's got the Kool-Aid there. Someone needs to take him down. So it's been a year. There's loads more that I've skipped because I just skimmed the pictures of the Facebook. I was going to actually sit and think, but I might do that and do it as a separate video so it's not as rambly, just as a little chronological. Oh Lord, because yeah, it has been. I've spent a lot of the year with various illnesses, physical and mental. At the moment, touch tree. That's wood, isn't it? Touch tree wood. I'm actually good. So I'm feeling awesome mentally, and I haven't been too ill, so that's bonus. So long may that continue, but I know it won't. But don't tell me, don't tell me. I'll just pretend that it'll all be awesome forever. I'm looking forward to having some nice time off over Christmas, and also, yeah, even though it's not technically time off, but things like just playing around with the minis and photographing them brings me a lot of joy. I did that, the one of the Queen with the corgis and the park bench and all that. And they were really lovely. And I was like, oh, I like making the little scenes and just bringing them all to life and showing how they can interact with each other. And that's really nice. So I'm hoping to get a bit of that done. Yeah, so I'm really appreciative that you've kind of stuck with me because it's been a lot this year of like, sorry for the delays. I'm sick again. Now I'm sick. And it was been really frustrating. I have been exceedingly low at points this year when it's the frustration as well because I've got in my mind how I want Bad Squiddo to run. And when I'm unable to do that, it's so frustrating because I can just, so I'm bored of hearing myself go, oh, I haven't been well, sorry, I haven't sorted this. And it's been a lot of catch up. I had a lot of overwhelm from the sickness, I think, as well. So it was grim, but I'm really glad that it's getting awesome towards the end of the year. And I've caught up with so much that I'm starting to really enjoy it again because it was just this constant bombardment. Whereas now I'm getting like, right, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I looked at the releases was it yesterday? I was looking at what had come out this year, and it was a relatively small amount, especially because we didn't do a Kickstarter as well. But I thought, we've got a huge range. I've got stuff that people don't even know has come out because I've just like I did yesterday, just put it on the website on a Saturday evening. So there's loads of stuff I need to promote, get some nicer pictures of. We've got the spooky fantasy Kickstarter next year. I will actually get the community minis in order. I might do some of that over Christmas while I'm just sort of chilling about as well, because that's what I enjoy doing the research. I want to get more of these specific women from history, whether they're good or bad. Doesn't mean endorsements. There's been some absolutely amazing releases, so it's not always about that quantity. The Kickstarter depends on a few bits, maybe sort of February, March. I've got a lot of sculpts that were going to be shipped over sort of nowish, but because everything's wild, I don't want sculpts to get stuck, in that pile of posts that you keep seeing online. So they're going to be coming in the new year, and then there's going to be a few more bits. So there's been a load of sculpts already on the go. They're from Shane, who's done all of the last, most of the last damsels bits. and he's done quite a few, well, he's done so much. He's done like all the Amazons, loads of bits and bobs. Gary says, I hope mice are doing well. Any chance of a pig and or mouse cam feed in 23? I keep thinking about it, and then I think even if it's not got a mic, I'll still be paranoid that it'll hear me, and then I'll get in trouble. That'll be my next bit of trouble, when you just hear me swearing at guinea pigs. But that could be fun. No, the mice are good. They've entirely burrowed themselves in, so I can't see them again. They're very shy, but when they do come out, they're very fun. Any reveals? We've got guard. We've got like it's just loads of bits at the moment. We've got princesses, we've got guards in like big uniform. Got quite a Slavic-y theme with some of it, which isn't done as much in fantasy. We've got a million more vampires because I love it. Another Dracula. There's loads coming, and I'm trying to figure out at the moment because I'm going to see Joe Snurg, who I don't know if he's watching actually. He hasn't said hello yet, but Snurg I'm seeing over Christmas, and I want to do some scheming with him on what animals we could fit into that next bit. Like I said last year about last week or last show about doing some familiars or something like that can sort of fit along. Annie's mice Twitch stream goes viral for unintentionally lip syncing some swearing on them. That would be it. You just hear me running around the house going, where the F are my boots? Where did I put my F in boots? Yeah. I do need to put more pig content up though, to be fair. They've been getting off lightly lately with not getting the camera shoved in their face. Most of them have been misbehaving. I've removed all the noodly things from their pens. They're not allowed to eat, but they're still, I don't know why they've got a taste for fabric at the moment. They're very monstrous. Hang on, I'll drink a bit more of this. I will be going shortly, don't worry. Don't worry, you will be free to do your things. I'm just like, oh. I don't know when I'm going to do the next one, because the next Sunday, obviously next Sunday is Christmas Day, so I won't do that. But sorry, family. I'm just going to go watch Annie's live stream. And then the one after that is New Year's Day. And I don't know what I'm going to do for New Year's. So it depends if it'll be me dragging myself out of bed, or if it'll be a really nice start to the year sort of thingy. So we'll see for now. I'll see where I am and what I'm doing. But assume not, but always check in when. I tend to, as soon as I know, I put the video up with the date on. Just keep an eye out for what the date is. You may have noticed when it's been me doing it a week in advance, I've put it really large across there. Oh no, controversial topic, Pig Castle. This is true. Maybe. I see it now, and I did get it out, didn't I? Because the mice have actually got their own, although it didn't need to be painted because it's for a little underground thing. They got something from the same company, and it made me think, oh, they've got that, and Pig Castle's still not been finished. So maybe, I don't know where I put the paints. I might have to buy the paints. But who knows? I always feel like Christmas is this really long gap, and I'm like, I'll do all these things, and then it's suddenly back at work again. So I do not know. But whatever I do this Christmas will be chilling, and it will be what I want to do at the time, rather than setting myself any sort of pressures or what. Sean says, plan to go to any more lard days. If there's any in Nottingham, you need to keep me informed, or if you're up here to pick up the boy and you can collect me. I know he doesn't do World War II, does he? But get more flashing blades. But yeah, if there's any nearby, I definitely want to do some more lard days because they were fun. And yeah, maybe play more games. I say this every year, so so maybe. But I know it sounds like something I say all the time, but I really do feel things are getting better, and things are getting better. It's just this constant, you know, if you followed me for long enough, it's all the things I want to do. Well, it's the same with everyone, really. Things you want to do, and then life and everything else sort of gets in the way. We were supposed to do World War II Germans this year, and that's not happened. And get the community last January, I was like, community miniatures, that's going to be caught up, and it hasn't. But I'm not beating myself up. I survived is the important thing. Yeah, I have been very unwell, so but hopefully now we're gonna really smash. And I've been doing that the last few weeks, just like getting things done. And that's when I feel really alive as well. It's not me overdoing it, it's just me being like, yes, do it. I'm no good at sort of lying and doing nothing, and I've done a lot of that this year. So hopefully get all the things all good. I suppose I better go. It has hit an hour, so I'm meeting Angeli shortly, and her corgi Sadie. Gonna take them out for a stroll. It's a bit grey out there, and I need to finish making her Christmas present actually before she gets here. I don't know if she's watching this. So I will be around online, as I say all the time, over Christmas. I know lots of people don't have a great time. If you want to hang out in Baggy's cave, just I'll set some threads up as well, and just chat. It doesn't need to be Christmas based. If you just want somewhere to sort of chat bollocks a bit, or post about what you're up to, things like that. Just want a bit of company. I sort of relax the rules a bit. It doesn't have to be model based or Squiddo based. Chat about films or whatever. It's a nice little space. That's always good, and I'll be around there anyway. The website is still going to be open, so whenever you want to buy stuff, just go ahead. I will be shipping next week, but then obviously there'll be a gap. But yeah, post system is chaos. On the very rare chance that you're desperate for something and might arrive, Royal Mail Special Delivery appears to be the best for that at the moment. So there's a chance, not guaranteed, but a chance, perhaps. Anything else? See, I'm not disappearing. I feel like I'm going forever. I'm not disappearing. I'll be around. I'll be on the internet. Yeah. I don't want to go. Yeah, I want you to all have the best Christmas that you can. And again, I'm always wary of it because I know some people just want it to not happen or have a crap time. But as long as you survive it, then you'll come out the other side and it'll be another great year whilst the UK is on fire. So all the wishes to all of you and your loved ones, and have excellent Christmases if possible. A bare minimum of it being a day, and I will see you possibly New Year's Day, as I threatened last week, because I will be in the Lincoln. I will be there with Snurg and Fenris Ian, so I might get them to do some sort of filming or streaming or something as well, against their will. So we shall see if we can get some good dog content. Thank you all for coming along this year. Sometimes I feel like it's a stupid show that I do. Okay, why do I do this? No one wants to listen to me. But you do, and I really appreciate it, because you're wicked, and I always take note of the people who's there all the time. So thank you very much. Merry Christmas, and see you around the internet anyway. Bye.